Theodemir or Theudemir was a Visigothic comes prominent in the southeast of Carthaginensis during the last decades of the Visigothic kingdom and, for several years after the Moorish conquest, he ruled 7 cities in southeastern Spain, mentioned in the Treaty of Orihuela that was preserved by the Andalusian historian Ibn Adarí in the 13th century. Orihuela, Valentila, Alicante, Mula, Bigastro, Eyya and Lorca.Sometime, probably during the joint reign of Egica and Wittiza. A Byzantine fleet raided the coasts of southern Iberia and was driven off by Theodemir. The dating of this event is disputed. It may have occurred as part of Leontios' expedition to relieve Carthage under assault by the Arabs in 697, perhaps later, around 702, or perhaps late in Wittiza's reign. What is almost universally accepted is that it was an isolated incident connected with other military activities and not an attempt to re-establish the province of Spania, lost in the 620s. As E. A. Thompson states, we know nothing whatever of the context of this strange event. After the defeat of King Roderick at the Battle of Guadalete in 711 or 712, Theodemir resisted the invading Arabs and Berbers, but he was eventually defeated in pitched battle and made peace with the Muslim Emir Abd al-Aziz ibn Musa. The text of the treaty he signed has been preserved in at least 3 separate sources, including a 14th-century biographical dictionary, and is dated to the 5th of April 713. The treaty allowed that Christians who submitted to Muslim rule would be spared their lives and allowed to continue living with the families, according to the Moors, and practicing the Catholic faith in the churches, but they were required to pay a tribute per capita and to turn over any enemies of the conquerors to the government. The tribute consisted of 1 dinar, 4 measures each of wheat, barley, grape juice, and vinegar, plus 2 of honey and oil, and half this for slaves. Theodemir retained his land and his local authority. Theodemir later traveled to Baghdad to have his treaty confirmed by the Caliph. However, it is unknown how long this treaty lasted in practice, whether it continued until Theudimer's death or after, or was cut short before his death. His prominence in the region is testified by the number of later Gothic nobles in the same region who tried to claim descent from him. The region itself was given the commemorative name Theodemir by the Arabs. Theodemir left a son, Aethanagild, who was described as very wealthy by the Chronicle, but whether or not he was his successor is debated by scholars. If he did succeed, he would have done so around 740, but his fate is unknown and the region of Theodemir had lost its independence by the 780s. In fiction, in the historical novel Eyya o los Vascos en el siglo VIII, the characters mention Theodemiro, Duke of Orihuela and Byzantium, General Prevost of the army, as one of those who successfully resist Islamic dominance along with Pelayo of Asturias and Garcia Jimenez of Navarre.